Hey. This is the Dalton Oath, found on the Warblerland weebly, and here we go. Promise to think of Micah, never someone's kind, but when I meet a fast runner, Erin will be on my mind. When something catches fire, I'll think of Satoru and Drew, and when I'm sad, I'll remember Danny, who hurt himself but then came through. When I'm in a truly musical mood, Billy will be in my head. When I want to fight, I'll think of Justin and keep the peace instead. When someone tries to protect me, I'll always think of Dwight, and of course I'll think of him when I'm online through day and night. I'll keep secrets to keep my friends safe. Think of Mafia and West, and Derek will be on my mind if I stretch myself thin for the sake of success. Go. I'll remember David and Kat, and of course I'll think of Charlie when I see a baseball bat. And if someone can't see what's right in front of them, I'll think of Logan and squid. And if someone I love loves someone else, I'll help them out like Julian did. When I'm willing to fight for what I believe in, I'll remember that memorable did too. I'll be like Spencer and back my friends up in whatever they say or do. Never see a rosebud without Adam in my head. And when I'm feeling gloomy, I'll be happy like Shane instead. Of course I'll think of Reed when I trip over my feet. I'll think of Erin and Ethan. People are goofy but sweet. I swear to think of Blake. I won't let someone get hurt. And of course when someone calls for Alice, of course I'll think of Kurt. If I was to remember Warblerland until the day I die, let's hear it for Mama CP. Thank you for changing my life. Promise to remember Warblerland until the day I die. Let's hear it for Mama CP. Thank you for changing my life. Yeah, so that was my contribution to the first anniversary of Dalton's release. I didn't necessarily get involved on the first day, but I think that as long as you've been involved, you're part of this family, this fandom, which is more than a fandom because we've sort of come together as this collective group of people who kind of agree on everything. It's really weird, in my opinion, in a good way, that we just come to love these boys and their fandom, the fandom they've sort of spawned. Usually I don't like OCs, but as soon as I saw that little thing, I thought, who the heck is Logan? And I go to investigate, and it leads me to getting Tumblr and to meeting all these wonderful people like Imogen and Nana, and I guess Emily and Tea Leaves and Zappy and pretty much George and Greta and the rest of the Ectomobile and Jay. And I'm sure there's a ton more. And it's been a really beautiful experience being part of the Dalton fandom, and I don't think that there's going to be a sort of thing like this, because, I mean, I've been involved in Wizard Rock, but I got involved at a time where things were kind of dying down. It wasn't the big renaissance that it was, and I thought that was a close fandom, and and there was still this disconnection that you were just part of this huge group that didn't really connect if you didn't have a certain talent. Whereas in Dalton, I think you can still be loved. It's not necessarily like a, oh, let's bow down to you kind of way. No, like it is kind of, I feel, in Glee. Like you have to contribute something, otherwise you're nothing. I think in Dalton, you just kind of be who you are, and we welcome you with open arms. And I'd really like to thank C.P. Coulter for doing this, for writing this story, even if it never gets finished, and we're just all hanging on a cliffhanger. I think that it's wonderful, and I will think of Dalton for the rest of my life. I mean, I'm continuously comparing things to Wizard Rock and Harry Potter, which was my first big fandom, and I was not nearly as connected to it as I am with Dalton. So, I don't know. It's just the way that I've gotten involved in this fandom, and I've met my friends. I met Imogen through a Justin Bancroft RP, and I still love her portrayal of Justin to bits and pieces. And through his Ask box on Tumblr, I met Nana, and we sort of merged groups from my DeviantArt fandom, and we just kind of all got together, and we have our own little, I don't want to say clique, it's just, and then I got involved in shipping, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many awesome people, like George, and it's just like, I just sit here, and it's like, passing things back and forth. I pass things back and forth with Jay, with Greta, and it's just, what is this fandom? It's all because of Dalton. I mean, I think I got involved like a month, I think in a month it will be my first anniversary reading Dalton, because I got involved about New Year's, just before New Year's came out, I think so, and that was a special moment for me because I just kind of came into this fandom which was already exploding, and I found myself in a nice little niche, and I just met people. I don't have the same kind of story or I don't know, personal connection that some people do to the story. I mean, there are some people who are like, oh, this saved my life, this got me through a dark period. I've never really been in a dark period, but I do feel that I do have this personal connection with Dalton. I mean, especially with Reed in the beginning. I mean, that was before I decided, like, who I am, and I thought, like, well, Reed doesn't know. He doesn't know who he loves. Does he love girls? Does he love boys? And it's just, and I felt really, really connected to him, because it's like, who, did you really have to decide? Are you sure? It's okay for us not to be sure at this kind of point in time. And I really love that. I really love that Reed didn't know. And he wasn't necessarily in this huge, great, big hurry to find out. And then he finds Shane, and things are beautiful, and I hope that happens to me. I hope that I get a story like Reed's. I mean, I'm fairly certain he's going to make it out of Hell Knight. If he doesn't, then, you know, I'm still gonna treasure that story. I'm still gonna treasure that story in my heart and think he found someone.